Okay, so I'll just disclose right off the bat. This is going to be a rant. It's going to be a rant, and I'm going to say some crazy shit because I think crazy shit. So that's just the way it is. So, first of all, I have been reading the comments on next door to that one statement that one lady made. It wasn't even, well, she was kind of made a statement, but she shared an article, right? And the stuff that people are saying. It was like, okay, if this was like April 2020, but come on. Jesus Christ. I mean, we're a year. Oh, and your brain hasn't even fucking clicked on. Oh my Lord. And, they'll spend hours doing research on something to try and discount whatever it is so that it can fit the narrative. It's like, oh my God, this is insanity. This is totally the survival of the fittest. I no doubt about it. I mean, these people are so fucking ignorant at this point. I think it's beyond ignorance, I think we've moved into full-on stupid. I mean, there's just stupidity out there that is just mind-boggling. I had no idea there was this many stupid-ass people. Jesus Christ, and to think I used to feel insecure about, if I was smart enough. I was like, oh, God, I was worried about it with y'all. Please. Oof, Jesus. The whole thing is, when the lights go on and they all of a sudden they all turn around and they're looking and they're standing in the whale's mouth and it's about to close, I mean, they probably think it's a ride. Mainstream media will come on and say, oh, this is a test. You guys just calm down, relax. Don't worry, you're not about to be food. It's like, oh my gosh, they are just, it is, I just can't even believe it. I really, really thought there was a lot more intelligence in the human race than what I've been seeing over the past year. It's going in a year and a half. Oh, man, it's rough. I think that's one of the roughest parts. I mean, that this has drug on this long, I never, ever thought it would drag on this long. When I started finding out about this stuff, I thought it was going to go way faster because, we were already like the disclosure people. We'd already been waiting a long time. We've been waiting forever. So then when this stuff came out, it was like, oh, it's going, it's going to happen, everyone's going to see. And oh my gosh, it's just been one thing after another. I mean, there's a lot to see, I mean, these people who are standing in the whale's mouth, they trust these people. I don't think I've trusted, I can't remember trusting the government ever. I can't remember it ever. I have always been questioning them, suspicious of them, pointing out everything they do to other people. Yeah, the corruption is just so apparent, Oh my gosh, Stella is, I am having, that's why I said it's going to be a rant. I'm having a horrible, horrible day. Oh my God, I've been up all night. I've been sitting out here since 3-something. And, just this energy, it's so intense and it's so draining and I know she can feel this stuff because she gets in these moods like this. Hold on. I still have my pajama pants on. I feel like, what's the point of even getting dressed? I don't know if you can see behind me how dark it is, but, we're in the fucking, probably has 40 days of rain. It's probably the last day. They're going to do everything they can to kill us. It's just, they're not satisfied until there's a lot more of us dead. And then, who knows? Who knows when the military or the white hats or whatever are going to, show their hand. Because this is just like, oh my gosh. The people who are who are just, the lemmings of the world, they don't pay any attention at all. And, talking to one of them and they are like, I don't have time. They're throwing one thing at us after another. I don't have time for it. I'm trying to survive the world. And it's like, that's what they do. They beat these people down so much. They don't have time for anything. And they don't even know. They're in the middle of a shark feeding frenzy, you know? And that's so frustrating because, you know, if they would just, I mean, just like those people, instead of doing research on what the woman had posted about and looking into it, they just wanted to debunk it. That's all they cared about. They all went like in a fucking frenzy trying to, you know, how dare her even post such ridiculousness. Oh my God, are you kidding me, people? Like, you really don't get when this is covered up? And you're going to attack somebody for posting this article about it, and then you're going to attack the doctor who wrote it, and you know, oh my God, it was so absolute insanity. You know, if you went and learned about the whole little intake system and how it works and how your whole body works and what it works on and all the stuff, even if you went and just, you know, studied some different diseases like COPD, emphysema, pneumonia, studied about those and how they work in the body and stuff, you know, like, educate yourself on something. Don't just trust that somebody who's telling you something is fucking telling you the truth. Like, look into some shit. It's like, oh my God, I cannot even get over the, oh shit, now she wants me to play with the gorilla. That nobody, I really thought there'd be more people thinking for themselves, you know. And it's very frustrating too, is because, you know, like, I know I have a tribe of people out there. I have no contact with them at this point, you know. I'm a lone wolf out in the forest, no shit. And, you know, these people who are out here, who have been out here forever and ever, who have just come accustomed to ignorance, I'm guessing. I don't know what's going on. Like, I can't figure it out. And, you know, and if I was placed here to, I feel like, you know, because I know where some other people are situated that are more of a positive. But there's even so many people are just negative. Even people who are aware of what's going on, like, they know what's happening. And, but they're just negative. They're just like, you know, total Debbie Downer. It's the end of the world. It's, you know, I can't even tell you how many people have told me, you know, I better have my food ready. And I better get out there and start burying it in the yard stuff. Like, they think like this is it. We're gonna be in, you know, survival mode for the rest of our lives. It's like, no, you guys, this is a transition. We're leaving these corrupt systems behind. We are going to start our own systems as, I don't want to say intelligent, as beginners. I don't know, because, you know, I think that we're going to do a lot of, like, trying to do some repeat of how people lived before the corporations came in and took over, which, you know, the same people running the corporations, they're probably as old as, you know, centuries and centuries old. Those people have been living off of baby blood for, I don't even know how long, a bunch of fucking vampires. And so, you know, that even when they were sending the missionaries out to break up the tribes and stuff, that was still the same group of people, you know, it was the same controllers that have always been out there trying to control us, divide us, keep us separated, keep us stressed out, keep us hopeless and helpless and, you know, willing to do whatever they say. So, you know, it's such an old system that's been going on for so long. And, you know, this is where I'm going to start talking crazy to some people, because, you know, like, I don't have any contact with my tribe. Like I said, I'm in this lone wolf, and I know that what I'm doing here is part of me making myself visible to them, so that we will come together, because I know we will come together. I know I have one. And I know that I'm some part of some kind of a grid or something to help raise the vibration here because of how people are placed around that I know of that aren't. Well, still, some of them are just pretty Debbie Downers. I mean, there's a lot of people who just think like this is the end of the world. And I don't see that at all. It doesn't fit into anything that nothing. I feel like that is just, that they need to work on trust and faith and stuff. And a more understanding, like connect with yourself. What is yourself telling you? Are you just going by what the articles, the other people's fears and stuff like that? Are you just focused on, fear, because I'm not connected to that. So I don't see it. I don't see it going down that way. I see this as a purging of all these old barriers that have held us back. And I see us as starting over. And I see us as the templates of the older tribes and stuff that lived more on their own, or, the homesteaders, or the people who had to make it, that were more independent, what was I saw yesterday? This movie, and it had this guy, and he went out and he was like sawing this little branch. He was like a city person and moved out to the country, and he's sawing this little tiny branch, and he just kicked his ass. And I was like, oh my God, there's so many people who I don't know how they would survive. Just like I was saying the other day about going on the wagon trains. There's a lot of people, I don't think they could do it. I don't think they'd make it a week. And I bet you some of those trips, I bet you took over a year. It wouldn't surprise me if they took a couple of years, because those things went slow as fuck, and there was no roads. They had to, follow little trails, and they ran into so many obstacles, weather, pissed off Indians, so, and so many diseases, just their food rotting and stuff, and getting them sick all the time with the dysentery and stomach illnesses, and no telling how much bacteria, parasitic kind of bacteria that they had in there that was living off of them and making them sick for a long time, before they ever even knew about the worms in the pork. Is it the pork or the fish? I think it's a pork. If you don't cook pork enough in there, because they started seeing like Asian people, I guess, weren't cooking pork enough. I don't know which country in Asia, but somewhere over there. Because it seems like it was like China or Japan or something. And they weren't cooking enough. And they started seeing worms in the people's eyes. And they were growing these worms. And just like dogs can have heartworms and stuff. So how many of the stuff that they did back then, and I think it really fits in with all the chemicals and stuff that they're putting in us, because those chemicals, especially how the different ones mix, and then how they layer them, like this one's coming in this way, this one's coming in this way, it's just all so, just to wipe us out. I think even the ones that they want to even keep are just going to be kind of like some kind of weird hybrid things. But they're not going to, they're losing. This is the purge of but we get to see their plan, now we get to know what their plan was, what they were going to do. And, they're not going to get to do it because they're losing, no matter how horrible and slow this seems. They are losing. I think they've mostly lost. I don't know really. I think I really resonate with the idea that so much of this is just dragging on to kind of wake people up, because it's shocking. It's just shocking that these people are just not waking up at all. It just boggles my mind. I just really, and so anyways, I'll just be so glad. But another thing, did I finish telling about that one movie with the guy? I don't remember. I've got so many things in my mind. I feel like I'm just totally flooded with thoughts and emotions. And that was another thing too, there was a couple of movies, because some movie came up and it was on some channel called Shudder. And I was like, oh, I want to watch that movie. It was a 7-day trial or something. I'm still in the trial. but it's some kind of horror movie channel. But they're not like, well, I mean, they probably have some slaughter movies, but most of them are kind of like Ted, kind of like Twilight Zone kind of movies, or um, the Mirror, Black Mirror, or what's that one? Those two guys save the world. It's so funny. Um, it's so funny. I can't think of what it's called. It's not Ted and oh well. Anyways, so when I was watching those, there was some supernatural movies, I guess, because then or some different kinds of things. But anyways, so what I noticed in these movies where it kept having these people who were crazy is that the crazy people kept hearing and seeing things. They kept hearing voices and seeing somebody talking to them and stuff like that. And, you know, they want to sell us on schizophrenia and, you know, those medicines and, you know, fear these people. And these ones weren't, you know, like about schizophrenics. These were about regular people. Something happened and they started seeing things. And when I was watching, I was like, see, they know where our communication is coming from. They know there's constantly beings trying to communicate with us. They know that the stuff that's going into our head is coming from outside sources, that there's communication that's going on all the time. And, you know, that it's disclosed in movies and stuff. But also there is a thing, you know, where they do want to, there's some sort of manipulation about the schizophrenic thing. I just feel so certain of it. Just because when I had all those patients and they were, because my last job I was a psych nurse. Well, I worked with psych patients. Yeah, I was a psych nurse. But I was not in the hospital. I had done that before with the, what do they call that? When it's an emergency, I can't think of a thing they used to call it. Well, they still call it. But acute psychotic break or something like that. But the ones that I was working with, these were ones, I was with a group. It was with the Spokane, see, sometimes my brain injury, so the community, you know, whatever, for schizophrenic, so that they would see them for free and stuff like that, for the mentally ill people or depressed people or whatever. And I worked with one that was the group. We worked with people who were always in crisis, and we were supposed to help them stay out of crisis. They were constantly having to go in the hospital, constantly having to go to jail, just in constant crisis. But the thing is that all of the different ones, and I was talking to ones that were constantly, you know, they were always in. I mean, like, their good days, they were still hearing things nonstop, you know, and it was a fight them. Like, they're verbally fighting with these beings. And when they would, in all of it always has this whole religious connotation. They're always fighting with demons or angels all the time. And it's always these same things. So why, if this is, how do they all have like the same kind of hallucination? You know, why aren't they, you know, seeing the president come in their house and sitting and talking to him? Why is it always demons and angels? Why do they always have it on that kind of level? These attacks on them and what they're trying to do and stuff. And I say that they have they are more tuned in with some part of them, or maybe when they come through the tunnel into this density, you know, something stayed open or something. I don't know. But they definitely, I say, they have an awareness that not everybody has. And then they want to medicate them and tell us, you know, don't listen to them and stuff like that. And I think they all need to be trained how to communicate with these things and do ceremonies to block them and stuff. You know, I think that's where they need to come at teaching these people about spiritual stuff. You know, all the stuff that they come at us with this medical, which is all completely manipulated, and in big pharma and all the chemicals. I mean, there's nothing at all it's trying to do to help us. And so many people just believe it, that they're trying to help them. And all the people who are getting these, so many people are getting sick and dying and stuff. And fuck. Man, I'm going to be so glad when we get through this part. This is rough. This is a rough day. But, so I still didn't get to the part where I said this is going to get crazier. Because I believe, so this soul tribe that I haven't connected with, but I believe that there is a bunch of us, and I don't know if these people would be in my soul tribe. That's a curiosity of mine. But that we are here kind of like as warriors or something, but I think there's a lot of us who are here from Atlantis. And I think that there is a lot of people who, that the battle we're having now, and there's a lot of us that have come from Atlantis. I don't care how crazy it sounds. I totally believe this. I have thought it since I was a little kid. And when they are, you know, that we are fighting the same people that we were fighting back then, like this same group, you know, and like we have come in as souls, like we've gone on, like we didn't just stay here and linger on earth and wait, you know, for this, you know, it is like, you know, earth had continued with this enslavement and this, you know, the lessons that it provided during this Piscean age. Well, it's gone through a lot of ages, but most recently the Piscean age. And so a lot of us who were here before, you know, we went through and we learned lessons, and we've gone and we've incarnated in other places. And then when this transition started to happen, and it was going to be defeating these negative beings, that a lot of us came back is like, it's like a vindication or something, like, and we came back as warriors or something. And like, I can feel this, I can see it in my head, and I can sense it. And then, but right now it is like we're being kind of held back, you know. It's kind of like you go to the rodeo and you got all these horses and they're all jumping around, and you know, and they can't get out of their stalls yet. That's what I feel like, that there's so many of us that are like that we are just like, we know what we came here for. We're ready to do this. This is like, come on, let's get this fucking done. We're ready, you know. And so it is like this, you know, I feel like the horses in the stables, and we're bucking around like, come on, let's fucking do this. And there's something about this energy recycling like that, like us coming back for this completion or something, you know. And when we go forward, it's not going to be just like we're going to go back and we're going to just all be like tribe people, and we're going to all have to make our own clothes and stuff like that. There will be businesses that will, you know, do it. It's going to be the end of corporations. Corporations have ran the businesses out. They've destroyed, you know, a human being's livelihood, because they, just like I said, when I drove the coast, you know, where it's supposed to be all these little artsy shops and little restaurants and these little mom and pop motels and, you know, whatever they're called, travel lodges or whatever. And, you know, that's what's supposed to be. But then the corporation moved in, and, you know, all these, and then they brought in the sickness, and everything is closing down. And right now they just went on full back to restrictions, all the way back to the beginning. And they're trying to do that here in Washington State too. It's like, oh my God, really, you guys? And how many people just go along with it? It's like, how many people do you know who have died? Please use your fucking brains. Oh my God. Where in the world anybody can come up with that this is some sort of plague, and that we are in such serious crisis that we all need to be in our homes and we all need to wear these and all this bullshit. Be reminded and wash your hands, because we forgot about doing that, you know, for who knows how long, you know. That's how stupid they think we are. They're going to need to tell us. Oh, God. It's looting us. So, anyways, they're just, you know, just go further backwards, and people just be willing to accept it like, oh, well, it's necessary. Yeah, and getting one of these and then wearing two of these, and it's all necessary for what? My mom was out to lunch yesterday with a friend who's, you know, two different sides of the fence going. And they were at lunch, and the waitress started saying something. I don't remember if it was her friend or sister or whatever. She works at the biggest hospital in town, and that they made a whole floor for just those people. And it's completely empty. Nobody's there. And the woman sitting there, and the other, you know, with my mom, her friend, said, nope, that's false. The newspaper said it's full. Oh, Lord. Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. I told my mom, I said, you know, I mean, when this very first started, fucking over a year ago, when people were all going down to the ERs, they were going to all the hospitals, they were filming it, everybody was showing like, there's nobody here, what are they doing, why are they locking us down, and stuff like that. And you were like telling people, you know, and trying to share them. Nope. CNN said it's full. People are dying. Oh, they're dying by the minute. Well, I'm pretty sure I would know somebody who died by now. I've known my mom especially, you know, she's got friends in their 80s and 90s, and sick people who have gotten it and were out of the hospital within 3 days. It's like, if there's anybody who should have died, it should have been blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And they got out after a couple days. But let's destroy the economy. Let's destroy all livelihood for people. Let's make them completely dependent. Nobody wants to go to work because, you know, they get so much of unemployment. Why bother? Just sit at home and then wait and see what the government does next. Because, man, I've been on food stamps before. And I even was on welfare when my kids were 20, when I was 26, my kids were little. My husband, well, I was divorced from him, but he got that order that I wasn't allowed to work. And it was during that was really going on for women who were working. They were losing custody of their kids. And my lawyer said, you need to just go on welfare. The judge would rather have you on welfare. So I was on welfare for like a year or something like that. And I've been on food stamps before for a couple months here or there. You know, my husband did construction, so they'd go through periods where it was like. And anyways, the whole point is messing with the government to try and get money. People just don't even know what's coming. They don't even know. I mean, their little passports. That's nothing compared to, you know, you want food, you want to leave your house, you want your electricity on, you want any of that shit, you better do what you're told. I broke away from that when I was a teenager. I don't want anybody telling me what to do. Well, anyways, I mean, the other day I thought, oh, people are waking up to things. It may not be the main thing, but, you know, little things. But then once I read those comments and just those people are so locked in, then it's just like, oh my God. Surely the military is not going to keep waiting for these people to wake up. I mean, they've proven they're not waking up. They are beyond brainwashed at this point. I mean, I don't even know that they have a consciousness, that they even, who knows if they even know they exist, you know, for all they know that they're just, you know, an extension of this other thing, you know, they just do and say whatever they're told. it's nuts. Oh, but anyways, I feel certain that, this is going to bring me my people. So I will be happy to start talking to you once we find each other. Because, man, sometimes it either feels like you're talking and you're trying to explain things to people, like teach them about what's going on, or you're trying to diffuse the fire, or you're trying to give them another perspective or whatever. So to just talk to people who see things the same way as you, where you're just talking on a totally different level, especially after being in lockdown for so fucking long. I swear to God, I never, ever would have thought it would have went this long. This is so crazy. If Anne Frank can do it, I can do it. I can handle this. I can do it. I'm just going to rant and rave to my phone every few days. Okay, well, and Anne Frank had it worse. I'm not trying to say, like, I have it as bad as her. Like, I can make noise. I don't have to be quiet for 12 hours a day and not make a sound. So, and I guess our lives are at risk every day. That part's true. I mean, they could draw. I mean, right now it's so, we've got like a gray blanket over us, and who knows how much manipulation is going on out there, and how much of it is this drizzling is just bringing us down some chemicals. I mean, they take out whole cities at a time, poison whole ones. I think that they've done it for so long that they've done practice cities, and I think we've seen the evidence of it, but we just weren't tuned in enough to really understand what was going on, because we didn't know how bad these people really were. These are the evil beings of the galaxy. Okay, well, I don't know. 9:30 in the morning. I've been up like 6 fucking hours. And there's nothing to do today. I have all yesterday and today I have tried so much, like start something, and then after a couple minutes, like, oh my God, it's stupid. Oh my God, it's stupid. Oh my God. Like, you just can't find anything. And it's got to be coming from me, because I just feel so like tense, like, oh my God. And I don't know, how much of it is picking up on the energy of other people and the tenseness, or is it just my own frustration with this dragging on for so fucking long? I don't know. Lots of questions. Lots of questions. And what are the answers? I don't know. We'll have to see. I was thinking also, I'm going to go, but I was also thinking this morning that it would be, I hope that there's somebody, a documentarian or whatever you call them, one of those people who makes documentaries. I hope they have been documenting this whole thing, and I hope that they're awake, like they know what's going on. And so when the transition happens, when the shift happens, and all these people have to actually like open their eyes and see what the fuck's going on, I want someone to catch that all on tape. I mean, I think we're going to all feel it. It's going to feel like a fucking tsunami of energy, but I want to see, what do these people do when they wake up and they're standing in the shark's mouth and it's about to fucking chomp them? Like, man. Okay, well, it's enough ranting for now, but I could be back later today. Who knows how this day's gonna go. It's dragging on already. Okay, have a great day and talk to you later. Bye.